Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Coaching Podcast. My name is Isabel Tate, and with me is my co-host Ron Tate.
Yes, and with us is
A very special guest. We have Daniel Kokken with us.
and
Hello,
who's
everybody.
Daniel?
And who's sorry,
Who's Daniel?
you were meant to let him say hello.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, see,
See, you mucked it up again.
No, yeah, right. So
Yes.
Daniel is the new assistant coach at Peak Endurance Coaching, and awesome new coach, and working with lots of athletes. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to introduce him to people who don't know him. So there we go. It was
Super
interesting,
excited to jump on
actually.
board.
Yeah, Daniel, I got an email when you first came on board from one of my athletes saying that, oh, he went to high school with you or something.
Oh,
Mark Carpenter.
no, his daughter is best friends with my
That's the one.
youngest daughter.
I knew there was a connection.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. Lovely.
Yes, lovely guy. So yes, so it's a small world, isn't it? All right.
Certainly
So
is.
for those of you who don't know you yet, what's your background in ultra running and now coming into coaching?
Yeah, so I started as most Australian kids do, playing football. Played that from when I was 7 years old till I was 21 or 22. And then being a tradie at the time, I broke my collarbone playing footy. So I wanted to then get away from a contact sport. So I then jumped into triathlon, which was a lot of fun. And then very quickly it went from Olympic distance up to half Ironman and then straight into Ironman triathlon, which I completed 3 of those.
Nice.
And
Which ones did you do?
I did Busselton and 2 Melbournes.
And never had any aspirations to go to Kona?
I did, but after the 3rd Ironman, we had our 3rd child. And then it was triathlon or the family. So that's
So
a wise choice.
To be honest, I've seen at some Ironman races, people holding up placards. If you're still married, you didn't train hard enough.
Yes. In our triathlon group, there was, I think, 12 of us that did Busselton the first year. And I think at least half the couples split up during it.
Yeah. Wow.
It was just, it takes a lot. Like ultra running is one thing, but when you've got 3 disciplines you need to train extensively for, it's a lot. So,
and not only train extensively for, but spend a fortune on each of them.
oh yes, yeah. And every race there's travel and everything involved. So it's a very expensive sport. And I always said that I'd want to go back to it, and obviously try to make Kona and things like that. But the further I'm out of the sport, the further I even contemplate getting on a bike again. Like there's just nothing that really excites me about that. So then it just happened to be one day, my mate sent me a message and he's asked, what's your birthday again? And I told him, and then next thing, 5 minutes later, I had an entry into Wilson's prom 66K run or something.
That's awesome.
From there, it then went into that, and then we did, I think, 2 bays, and then it just flowed on from there to another. He then entered me into another 50K, and then quickly it went to 100K.
Jeez, with friends like that, who needs enemies?
Exactly right. So, and it's very good. Like a lot of my close friends have all kids as well. So we get on, we all understand. The one that I enters me into all these races also has 4 daughters. So it makes life a little bit easier because both our wives can complain to each other about how annoying we are and all that stuff. So yeah, then rounded off to doing the 100-miler last year, which was obviously the biggest challenge that I've done so far, which was a lot of fun.
How does that compare to an Ironman?
With an Ironman, like it's going to sound, I don't know what's this going to sound like, but when you're training for 3 disciplines, I don't feel like again, a marathon is such an amazing achievement for so many people, but when it comes to doing the Ironman, I feel like you're doing a decent amount in each one. Whereas with an ultra run, you are doing a monumental amount of just one discipline. So I find that the mental strength you need to stick to one discipline for so much longer makes ultra running so much harder.
Because I guess while you're on the swim, you can think, oh, I look forward to the bike. And then when you're on the bike, you're like looking forward to the run. And there's distinct phases that you know you're
Agree.
knocking it off. Whereas the
Yeah, like
run,
it's all day
it's
or a couple of
all, and
days.
it's like this is never going to freaking end.
Yeah. With the swim, it's an hour. With the bike, it's between 4 and 6, and the run, it's
Yeah.
like anywhere from low threes to mid fours to fives.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. When you combine it all together in one day, yes, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But when you break them apart and set it in 3 different disciplines, I think then ultra running, it's just a mind game the whole day or night the second day. So I find that it's a big difference in the two. But yeah, both are extremely hard. But ultra, just that extra test.
Yes. I mean, we're not trying to diminish the Ironman, you know, but it's different, and in that way, like I think that would make sense, that it would be easier to mentally break it down.
Yeah, much easier that way.
So what is it? And I know I said we were going to do a catch up first, and then I completely forgot. I went straight into questions because I'm a moron. We can do a catch up later. I don't know. I just got so excited, clearly.
Just catch up on the way through. We'll just always flow in and out. That's what it's all about.
Oh no, oh God, I'm hopeless. You know, you've started coaching with Peak Endurance Coaching, and what do you think transfers from your experiences in endurance sports to your coaching?
Yeah, I think the one thing with coaching in any environment, whether it be running, business, wellness, all that stuff, I think having like fundamental experience in the element of whatever you're coaching is a really good way to then transfer into coaching and helping other people. I find it really difficult to talk to someone in a business world that doesn't necessarily know the exact of what I'm trying to teach. Like, yes, you've got the fundamentals, but if you've been in the trenches and done the exact same thing as somebody else that you're trying to tell them what to do, you can really bounce off them and say, well, if you're going to come up with these are a couple of options you can do to really find a way out of that little hole that you're in. Like, okay, I've been in this hole before. You're probably going to get in this hole. Reset, a couple of deep breaths, take a rest. Okay, work your way through it, and then you can problem solve and keep moving. So I find it's a really good way that I don't think you have to do everything that you're teaching your athletes, but you need to be able to understand where they're going to go wrong so then you can help them along the way.
Yeah.
And what do you think from your experience you can best help your athletes with? As in drawing from your own experience.
Yeah, I think for me, because I'm still quite young in my life and also my running career, if you want to call it that. But I've run my own business now for going on sort of 12 years. I've got 4 kids that are young, we're in still the hurt locker of kids' life, things like that. So I really do understand the juggle that it takes to one function in day-to-day life, but then 2, trying to add in a family life and then a training schedule. So it's certainly not for everybody, but we've all got 24 hours in the day. If I know I have to do something and I work my time back, if I have to be up running at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have to be up running at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I feel like with the every experience that I've packed into my 40 years so far, I feel like I've done a fair bit that I can really help people in their little facets as well, and making sure, like one of our athletes, Tony, he's like, we're opening up a cafe. I just couldn't get my runs in. I'm like, I get it. Like you're in a hurt locker for this small period of time. If you don't get your run in, you don't get it in, you're working 15, 16-hour days. That's fine. Don't stress about this 8K run. Let's just wipe that away. Let's not try to catch it back, but let's just make sure that then next week we stick to this program and we roll through. So I feel like you have to be adaptive with your athletes as well. You can't just be like, sorry, you have to do this. Like, well, that works for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody. So I feel like being able to really get to know your athletes and making sure that you know when to push them or not push them.
100%. And I agree with the adaptability of the program, because I mean, I see it with some coaches that's kind of like athlete has to follow the program or the program doesn't work. Whereas I feel with us that we can adapt the program to make it work regardless of their life. Because isn't that what it's about? We don't want people to change their lives completely. Like we want to adapt the program for them to make it work for them.
Correct. They're not entering these races to then put food on the table. They're entering these races to have fun and push their limits. It's not everything for them. Like, yes, you've got a goal, you want to achieve it, but also life is also really important, your family, your work. So you have to make sure you've got your priorities right.
Exactly, 100%. And that I say that to my athletes, family always comes first. So we'll find a way of making it work around family.
Correct.
So when you get a new athlete in, what's the sort of, and you look at what they're, at their training, what's the first thing you sort of assess and think is a sort of a priority for them?
Yeah, I guess it's understanding what their goal will be and making sure that the goal that they're trying to achieve in the first however long is genuinely achievable. Like, there's no point if you're running and you're training for a 10K, then you say to me, I want to do 100K at the end of the year. I'm like, well, let's have a think about that. Let's make sure that it's actually achievable, because there's no point setting an athlete up for a program that they might not be able to achieve, because then they're just going to be doing each session and getting angry and thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. So actually making sure that the athlete understands where they are. Yeah. So then you can get an actual goal. Okay, let's work on a marathon first before we then jump to 100K. So it's understanding their expectations and their personal, just making sure that they know where they're actually sitting and understanding their life and all those challenges that we're going to face in that 6 months of a program, and making sure that we can achieve the goal that they want to achieve.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yep. And what sort of mistakes do you think you see runners making over and over again?
I think the one thing that athletes do is, if we've got a program, that they don't stick to the program. Like, the reason why we've got a 12 or 16 week build is because each step along the way is measured for a reason. Like, it's simple. Like Amy, who we're just bringing on, she's like, oh, I've only got 6K on the weekend. Can I do 9? I'm like, no, let's just stick to, there's a process in everything. Stick to the process and the mileage will come. The builds will come. If you're not hitting PBs now, that's fine. We're not supposed to. We just have to follow the program, and the programs are built for a reason. They're built because they work. Whereas if people are just like, oh, I just want to do a little bit more. Like, no, we can do a little bit more when it's scheduled in the program in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, just can't rush the process. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. People just want to see PBs every other week. And it's like, well, no, you don't need to. We're trying to get a PB on the day. At the end of the program, that's where we want the PB. We don't want it in week 3 and week 6.
That's what Isabel always says. You don't win in training.
Yeah.
No, you can only do damage and hurt the following week if you don't follow the process now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and when you're in like the coaching relationship with an athlete, what do you sort of expect from the athletes?
What I expect from them is just probably a lot of honesty and making sure that, yes, we can look at the data and you can see what the data is saying, but I think it's always about, I'm one that probably allows a lot of open communication with my athletes. So I always say to them, if you're running and you get home on Monday night and it's 9 o'clock and you want to just quickly unload something, just message me. If I don't reply, that's fine. But I'm always like, I want to know how you're feeling, not just what the data is saying. So I want to make sure that they're open and honest during all their sessions. If they've got a slight injury or a little pain, tell me and we can work it. We can take a rest. We can tweak something out, just to make sure that everything that we're doing is actually moving in the right direction. So just that continual over communication from an athlete to a coach, I think, is really important. So then you can make sure that everything that we're doing is not going to hurt them in the long run. Because if they didn't tell me that they've had a sore calf for 2 weeks, then all of a sudden we've got a hill session and they pop a calf. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me 2 weeks ago? And now we're going to be all the way back. So I think it's just, when it comes to an athlete to a coach, there just has to be a lot of honesty.
Yeah. And look, I agree. I always say, I say that to all my athletes too, is like, the data only tells me one thing. It doesn't tell me how it actually felt. Was it easy? Was it hard? And unless you have that information, it's really hard to progress the program, like you say. So, yeah, so that's great. I totally agree. And that's, you know, obviously part of the reason why I wanted you on board is I want people who are, you know, coaches who are really good at communication, and that's something so important. And what I pride peak endurance coaching on is that ability to communicate, because that's I mean, that's just the way it goes, basically.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, so I mean, we touched on this earlier on, but if someone comes to you wanting to step up to something big like a 100-miler, what would be your first move towards?
I think we always say this to the kids: if they want something, we say no at the start, but then if they ask again, we know that they're serious. So if an athlete says, I want to do a 100-miler in November, I'll be like, well, okay, come back and tell me in 2 weeks' time if you still want to do it. Let's sit down and let's chat about what it's going to take to do this 100-miler. Do you have the time to be running up to 120, 130K a week? Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Now, do you have time to get in? What race do you want to do? I want to do Cosy. Okay. Do you have time to get in enough? It's going to be a 5,500 meter elevation. I live a really flat place. Okay. Let's maybe look at a different race. Like, I think it's making sure that not to just say, no, you can't do that, you don't have the capabilities. I think you have to make sure that they really understand what they're getting into. And I think each event, you don't really know until you know. But if you can give them every possible thing, jump on YouTube and you can see so many people from a certain race and the stuff that they've been through. Like you'll see people that are crying, you'll see people that are crawling on their hands and knees. You have to look at a lot of the bad things that can happen in a race, because who knows what could happen to you. The weather can change, all things like that. So I think if an athlete wants to jump up into a challenge, great. Let's have a look to make sure that you're capable, that you've got the time to put the dedication in. If you've got a family, is the family involved? Are they going to be jumping on board with your journey as well? Because there's no point starting it and then realizing, oh, I've actually got a really busy period of work in these 2 months that I don't think I'll get the training. Okay, let's do the 100K instead of the 100-miler, or let's do the 50K. So it's making sure that when they want to jump up to something like that, is understanding that previous 6 months training for it, is it going to be viable to your life if we can hit that goal? And if yes, all right, let's go, let's build the program and let's give it 100%. But let's understand before we pay the entry, because the entries these days are quite expensive. Let's make sure that you can tick every box, and the pros and cons that are going to come with it. That your lifestyle is going to change. You're going to be tired at 8 o'clock every single night. You're not going to be able to do all the things that you normally do. And then if you're still happy and want to go, then let's do it.
And I think that's one of the big benefits of getting a coach, is having someone to have those discussions with. Because if you're in an echo chamber of friends who are like, just enter everything, you know, that can lead to trouble. So it's better to have a coach who can be objective and maybe they're like, enter it. But, you know, there's also that element of let's be sensible and actually look. So that's so important.
Yeah, and especially have someone that knows what it takes and, you know, knows that how much it takes out of life.
But in saying that, like, I've never done a 200-miler, but I'm sure I could coach someone for that. I actually have done I've done 290Ks, haven't I?
Yes, so you've done near enough to
I keep forgetting, because it wasn't a race, because it was an FKT. Yes, so okay.
And do you know how hard you trained?
Oh my God. And I know how hard it was. It was horrible. So but I'm saying,
like, when it's a 200K race and a 160K race, I haven't obviously done longer, but there's only so much more you can train. Like, there's only so much. It gets to a point where there's obviously a lot more training for a 50 to 100 to 160, but I reckon anything longer than that, I could be wrong, but I don't have that much more time in my day to fit.
I think you're right.
I would agree. Like, for me, for training for that 290Ks, I did exactly the same training as for a miler anyway. And I got through it because more so, and I think this is why people need to build up to races, more so from my base of years. That's what gets you to the 200 milers, not the 3 months training. I mean, that gets you to it, but that gets you from the jump from 100 to 200 miles is the base behind your years of training, which is why I think, like you said, people coming in doing 10Ks wanting to jump up to something huge, you haven't got that base of mileage in you and years of doing longer things that gives you that mental and physical ability to grind through.
Yeah. And look, there'll be the odd unicorn that will be able to just
Oh,
jump in
yes, absolutely.
marathon and all those things and be like, all of a sudden run a PB, then it's like, oh, okay, you're a naturally talented athlete. So yeah, there's always those people that you look at them, you're like, all right, I know you can do this, even though you've jumped from 10K, you want to do a marathon. I know you can do this, so you'll be fine.
Yeah. But for the rest of us, it takes years of grind. So,
Exactly.
But you know what? I reckon personally, the grind is enjoyable.
I always find everybody says it's the journey along the way, not just the destination on race day. It's the 12, 16, 20-week program where if you're doing it with mates, you've got those banters on the long runs and things happen, all that stuff. It's always about the whole process getting there. And then all that hard work comes on race day. And it's like, all right, now let's just go out and enjoy it. I've done all the work and let's just jump all the hurdles that are going to come my way.
And I reckon a race finish is so much more rewarding when you've put in the hard work, which is, I think, part of why you hate it when people go, I didn't train. Because, I think if you just go and do a race, it's like knowing that you've put in the hard yards makes it, I don't know, more of an achievement to my mind. Yes.
Yeah.
So what are you, what excites you about coaching under the Peak Endurance Coaching umbrella?
Yeah, I think number one is obviously having you there as well that you can bounce ideas off. I think you can always go on a coaching journey and be quite lonely. Just again, if you don't have anybody to bounce ideas off, you're just your own little kingdom in your own little world, and you think you're amazing. Whereas if you're working with people, I think it's a really good way to learn more and understand more. There's such a great community that I've already met within the group. And I think everybody's really great. Getting people from we're coaching athletes that are trying to do backyard ultras, but then we're also training athletes that want to improve their 5K time, their half marathon time. I think the variety that we've also got as well is a great way it's great to see people achieving long distance. They're an athlete and they know what they're doing, and we're just helping and guiding them along the way. Whereas getting somebody with a lower PB is as exciting as somebody that's achieving a 100K, 100-mile race. I think having that community with all the athletes that we've got, it's really exciting to see so many people achieving their goals, so many people working their asses off all the time to just get better within themselves and feel better. And you look at it and you're like, wow, you're really achieving something, and that just makes you smile.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Because, and that's the thing, it doesn't matter what their specific goal is, they're all working really hard for it. And like all of them have, jobs, and, a lot have families, and everyone's busy. So to see people really putting in the effort and really, achieving goals is awesome. And it proves that it can be done, that you can.
Exactly right. And everybody does have that 24 hours in the day, and you hear so many people saying, I don't really have time. I'm like, well, feels like the community that we have, we all find the time.
Yes.
And it's just about finding that time. So when you're with like-minded people all the time, you're just a much happier person.
And that's almost one of the first conversations when you speak to a new athlete. That's one of the first conversations you tend to have with them
is about finding the time.
Because they all come to you saying, I just don't have the time.
But I help them, a lot of them, we talk about it and we find ways to have the time. And also, I think what also happens is once they start the coaching and they see that it's actually an enjoyable process and that they see results fairly quickly, that motivates them to want to train more and find the time to train as well, I think.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I was talking to Tony last week, and I'm like, oh, have you looked at the program for the next 4 weeks? He's like, nah, I just wake up and see what my watch tells me what to do, and I just go out and do it. And I'm like, he's like, it's like an exciting journey every single day because I don't know what I'm doing.
Isn't that funny? It's that's interesting. I was actually listening to a podcast about that notion of the element of surprise for certain things, and they reckon psychologically it wears off, but obviously it hasn't worn off for him, so
No.
that's
He
good.
loves
Because
the fact
that's
that
what
he
he's
doesn't know
done the
what
whole time. So.
Yeah. You know, but that's the thing. Whereas a lot of my athletes tell me, oh, they love to look ahead and see everything that's coming up and plan for it to, and know exactly. And some people love to know exactly what's coming up. And then you've got other people who love the surprise. So ultimately, it works for everybody,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the good
exactly.
thing.
I do a run set with just a local of the guy that's entered me in all these races. He's got a little run club, and it's
Yeah.
great going there on a Tuesday morning around the track and a Friday, and not programming things for myself, just going there and saying, "What are we doing today?" and then just jump in and just do it, because I think that element of surprise sometimes
Yeah.
is super exciting. It's like, all right, what's today? Oh God, why did I come today?
See, whereas I hate surprise, I'm the person that if I know we're going out for dinner on Saturday night, Thursday, I'm looking at the menu, making sure that there's something I like, because I don't like to be surprised.
No, I like a bit of surprise every now and then.
Yeah. So how do you balance athletes pushing towards their big goals while protecting them at the same time from burnout or injury?
Yeah, again, a little bit what we said before is just making sure that they're trusting the process along the way and managing. And again, it goes back to the honesty with the athlete to the coach, that if they are a little bit sore, finding ways to make sure that we're working on the body and not pushing it at that moment. Like obviously Garth, who just did the backyard ultra last week, he's had a sore calf and Achilles this week. So I've sent him some more exercises, stretching and stuff that he has to do. We really lowered the volume this week to then get back into the program the week after. So it just comes back to trusting the process, the honesty with the athlete to coach, that if they are sore, let's jump on it straight away, because we've seen that if you do deload quickly and just manage it for a couple of weeks, you usually get back to where you are, and you might lose 5%. But if you keep pushing and do something, you're going to then lose very quickly 20, 30% of your fitness.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I agree. That's so important to get onto things early.
Sounds a lot like what I'm going through at the moment.
Yes. Ron, thankfully, has finally gone to see a physio. That's part of our update. So,
Yes.
oh my God. It's only taken me 6 months to get him there.
I've got a hip,
hip impingement.
Hip impingement, yeah.
I was thinking it might be a labrum tear, but they're saying what he's got could cause a labrum tear, but if it's not getting better, then they'll do a scan to find out if it actually is. But it just sounds like a labrum tear to me. But yes, we'll see. But yes, he refused to go see a physio. He's like the worst. He's the naughty kid in the classroom. He just doesn't
Is
do
it because you were telling him to go to the physio?
Yes, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Basically. If you had told him, he'd have gone.
Yeah, then it's like, if somebody else tells me, that's a great idea. No, not really. I don't think I need that.
Yeah, but then I was running along the other day and I made the decision to go and see it.
Oh, okay.
So that makes it
Yeah, that makes it better. Yeah.
And I also said I'm sick of running on my own every weekend. So yes. Yeah. So as we said, you're under the Peak Endurance Coaching umbrella, and we absolutely love having you on board. So if anybody wants coaching with Dan, like email me, message me on socials, whatever it is, even comment on this podcast, because I'll see it, So really great to have you on board. The other thing is, you're sitting there in an office and you spoke about having your own business for 12 years. Did you want to tell people what your business was? Because it's really relevant.
Yeah, so having this, I was in the commercial construction industry. So doing shop strip outs and shop fit outs and things like that in shopping centres. And then COVID came along and ruined the building industry. Or at least the shopping centre and all that type of industry. It was a really hard time. So from there, my wife, who's also, she sells franchises and businesses for a living.
Okay.
She was working with a company called Recovery Lab, and it got to a point one day, I think I want to buy one of these. And she's like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. So then we've had this business for 3 years now, which has been really good. It's a health and wellness studio as such, that we've got the Normatec compression boots, and then we've got infrared saunas, we've got ice baths, we've got another thing called New Calm, which is like a mindful meditation to help reset the mind, which is a super powerful tool that we've got. So it's, for me, I grew up with a really bad back. I've got a couple of issues with it that's actually crooked and scoliosis and all that stuff that I used to have to go to chiropractor probably at least once a month, if not even sooner. Whereas the 3 years I've had this business, I've obviously been saunaing an ice bath at least probably 2 or 3 times a week. In the last 3 years, I would have been to the chiropractor 3 times.
Wow, that's
It's
awesome.
amazing how my body has just relaxed a lot more, actively looking after myself on a daily basis. And obviously having all the tools here with the compression boots and all that stuff with my running, it just I find a way to say it is when you're running and then the next day you've got another training session and your legs are sore for that first half an hour. I find that if I do the compression boots, if I do a sauna ice bath, it almost just eliminates that tired legs the next day. Yes, you sleep a little bit better and you feel probably 5% better directly afterwards. I find it's a compounding effect the next day that you've got all the lactic acid out of your legs, any fluid retention that's stuck in your feet and your legs is gone, that you're a little bit lighter on your feet for that next session. So then that quality is there from early on in that run. So it's been an up and down thing. Like we're obviously we've been in a financial crisis for a couple of years. Cost of living is really high. So I understand that everything we have here is a luxury, but it is getting to a point where it's become a lot more mainstream. People are buying stuff for home. People are even putting saunas at home and ice baths and things like that. So we're still at the forefront of the whole industry of getting people to understand the health benefits, like cardiovascular health, mental clarity, all that stuff that all these things provide is just going to pay off in the long run of people's longevity and things like that. And for athletes as well, it's amazing. Like athletes should be using it 100%, but general wellness for the public, even if you're not an athlete, you're just working in an office all day, you're working as a nurse or you're on the feet, hospitality, doing little things like this, whether it be 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes every couple of days, is just going to make your brain and your mind and your body just feel like you're floating on air. It's such a beautiful thing. So we've got a lot of people that come in here that if they're having a bad day, they come in here, they do the boots in the afternoon, they have a quick 15-minute sleep because it puts you to sleep almost every time, have a sauna, they walk out and they're just feeling so much better within themselves.
So, and I guess it's a lot cheaper than putting them all in your own home, like putting a sauna in and that sort of stuff.
Correct. Yeah, exactly right. So we do casual passes, we do memberships and things like that. So it's something that is really, really cool. And then we've got an online store that's bolted onto this as well, that we sell the compression boots, we sell massage guns, we sell foot rollers and foam rollers and mechanical rollers and all things like that.
I saw that roller you had for the calves, that one on one of your stories. I thought, God, that looks good. I need that for my calf.
It is brutal, like it's painful.
Yes, that's what I thought. It looked brutal.
Rolls out your calves, especially the calves, because you can really work on it. It's great for obviously your quads and hammers and things like that as well. But yeah, it's a beautiful. We've got a lot of stuff here that just helps you just get that 5-10% edge that other people don't do. Because 10 years ago, your recovery was just getting back and sitting on the couch.
Yes.
Now we actually have to be actively recovering and looking after it.
Kind of what it still is for me.
Yeah, that's his recovery. He doesn't do anything. Hence the injury.
Off we go.
No, but that's why he's always getting injured. So, there's that. So do you find you mostly have athletes?
No, I would say we're probably 50-50.
Yeah.
I'd say the 50% that are athletes would be 75% females. They're at the forefront always of looking after themselves. We're a little bit lazier as a gender, I think, when it comes to looking after yourself. And then the 50% athletes would probably be 40% males, that footy, running, triathlon, all things like that. But again, especially triathletes, they're already spending so much money on the sport themselves that they don't have a huge amount left over for recovery. But I find that we've got a lot of runners. The running boom is still huge. Marathons are selling out in days. That there's a lot of people coming in that are training up for Ballarat that's coming up. And
Ballarat's gotten really popular.
Yeah,
You
certainly
can make
has.
cells, ain't no, just about, I think.
Yeah, I know. I know about half a dozen people heading up there to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've got a
Yeah,
few of our athletes going as well. Like I know one of yours and a few of mine. So,
yeah,
you
it
know,
looks like a good course.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's flat and Ballarat, the weather is great, perfect for running.
Yeah.
So, I mean, perfect, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, and so did you want to just give your business a little bit of a plug where it is? And
Yeah, so just Hampton Recovery Lab in Bayside Hampton, which is, just a beautiful spot. Don't come in school traffic time because there's like zero car parking.
yeah, I bet. I bet.
With sort of 3 private schools really close by, there's just cars
yeah.
everywhere when it comes to morning and afternoon. But any other time than that is a beautiful time to come in here. And then we've got our online store, the recovery store. Again, you can just jump onto our Instagram and anything like that.
Yeah.
Hampton Recovery Lab on mine, and you'll see a lot of the things on there. Just to anything you need to help your health and wellness is what we're here for.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing, like recovery is when the training takes effect. Like the training doesn't actually take effect, so to speak, whilst you're doing it. It's during the recovery period that all the magic happens. So it should be a real big focus for everybody.
Yeah, because the only way that you're going to improve is to follow the process. But when you're not training, you have to rest. You have to get sleep. You have to fuel properly. It's not just about fueling during your run. You have to fuel post-run, pre-run, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that if you can look after your muscles in between those, it's going to be beneficial in the long run for sure.
Absolutely.
But if you don't have the money to come to all these things, then just feet up against the wall or anything like that. You don't have to spend. Running can be expensive enough. The shoes are expensive, the gels, the entries. So it's not the be all and end all if you can't do these things. Get the simple foam roller to roll yourself out with. If you've got sore feet, freeze a pump drink bottle and roll your feet out on that. Like it's all those little things that you can do you don't have to cost an arm and a leg. So it's vitally important to not think that, well, if I'm not doing this, I can't achieve my goals.
True.
You can just make sure that you can always tweak little things to make sure that you can do it at home whenever you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, shall we do catch up now?
Yeah, let's do catch up now. So what's your running been doing?
Me? Well, what did I do? I did, what did we,
You did another 30,
I did a 35K run
35K.
by myself. Well, you joined me for the last 15.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then once again, we finished at the pool.
We finished at the pool, but this time it stayed hot.
It did. We didn't have to.
Oh my God, we even got a bit sunburned.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Yep.
Because what we do is because Ron hasn't been able to do full runs, he parks up the top at this old school swimming pool, and then he ran and met me, and I did give you a bit of walk for because I took a bit longer and you didn't run. You were sitting there on
I sat on a rock. It looked
and
like
waited
for
for me.
You
And I'm
took
like,
too
you
long.
run to me. He's like, I don't want to do anything extra. And then so then we did that run, and then we went for a swim, and it was so good.
Yeah.
And this pool, right?
It's in Olinda.
It's in Olinda. I don't know if when you've taken your kids to pools, how strict they are with all these rules, and you can't run, and you can't do this, and you can't have fun, and you can't be a kid and play.
Can't throw a ball.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas at this pool, it was like when I went to the pools in the 70s. Kids are running around, kids are doing bombs, kids are jumping, and there's lots of lifeguards, heaps of them.
Lifeguards are standing right beside the pool watching them, but
they're even throwing the balls to the kids, and the kids are having so much fun. Not one screen in sight, and the kids are just being kids like we used to be. And it's so nice because we've gotten so safety conscious that all the other pools, the kids are got to walk like robots. They're not allowed to do anything. They can't, and it's so gratifying to see it old school. And I feel almost scared saying it out loud because I don't want people to go there and go, oh, well, now we've got to go to Olinda Pool and stop them having fun, or the
fun police will come.
Yeah, they do, especially in Victoria. The fun police are like huge.
No, our girls went to a swimming pool over summer, and they had diving boards, and there was this one lifeguard that wouldn't let them like do flips. Like,
oh, seriously?
My girls are gymnasts, and then they dive at school, so they've got unbelievable body control, like no one like at their age and stuff. So there was this one lifeguard that whenever they were up there, all they could do was pin drops, and then he buggered off. The other one's like, if you know what you're doing, go for it. And they would jump up and do a flip and land in the water, and they were having fun. But there was just always this one lifeguard that would come up, nope, can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like.
Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, seriously, come on.
Yeah.
These kids, they were doing flips just off the side of the pool where we were,
Yeah.
And there was like 20 children underneath them. They're doing bombs and there's kids everywhere. But the thing is that I noticed nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
Literally nobody.
Yeah.
Because kids aren't stupid.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah, they're not going to do something that's going to hurt themselves or their mate. Like,
they
want to just have fun.
Yeah, they have fun, and kids are a lot more soft and pliable when they're not like adults where if we do one thing we snap,
Or we pay for it for the next 6 months.
Yeah, that's right. They're a little bit more robust in that way because they're young. So
right.
Anyway, so that was our weekend, and I've just been doing normal training since then, and been a bit bored. Well, we went out for Sunday sips with
we
Nikki,
did. Yep. And had some drinks and then went for Indian for the night.
Yes, we had some Indian, which I was wearing a white top, so of course I got curry on it.
Rookie mistake.
I'm such an idiot. Like, I should know better. I should be banned from wearing white, quite frankly.
You should be, because the one thing you do is make a mess.
I do make a mess, yes. I think you said to the waiter, well, the table enjoyed the beer.
Yes.
And they're like, ha ha.
Yeah, what a good joke.
I've never heard that one before.
So anyway, and then so Nikki works at a physio, so she quickly got Ron in to see a physio because I'm like, stat, he said he's going to do it. Get
quick before he changes his mind.
Yeah.
So you're sick of him whinging and complaining that he's
but doing nothing about it. Yes. And how about you? What did you get up to running wise on the weekend?
Not a lot, because I went out and crewed for Garth on the Saturday morning.
Yeah, I saw you were right there at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I got out there at 2:45 because I knew we'd probably do about like a 50-minute loop. So I got there just before his 3 o'clock changeover. So then I hung out there for, I think, 3 or 4 changeovers with him to see how he was going. And he was moving okay, sort of running on average of those loops.
Very hot.
53, 54 minutes. So I stayed there until I think it was sent him off at 6 a.m. and then I left, came home, and then I was in here on the Saturday. So I didn't get any runs in because then Sunday was full with kids' basketball activities and all that stuff. So my weekend was just work and kids stuff. And look, I'm still not locked into any events. So I'm still just doing the gym a couple of days a week, running Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but nothing major. Like I'm still.
So you're keeping the sort of the consistency and that sort of stuff. But
keeping the consistency and enjoying getting back in the gym. Like I think I didn't like the gym last year, whereas I'm enjoying the gym again.
Oh, cool.
My daughter's not doing gymnastics, so she wants to come out in the gym with me as well. So
nice.
Workouts.
So
it's quite nice to not have that goal, because in no time I'll find something and want to do something again. But at the moment,
I don't know that feeling of not having a goal. No. I've already sort of said about this one, and Ron's like, I thought we were going to have a holiday then. I'm like,
after the
run we can have a holiday.
No, for the last 5 years, all our holidays have either been about my runs or the girls' gymnastics. This year, there is no holiday for an event whatsoever.
Whoa.
We're doing a ski holiday, which we haven't been able to do for a couple of years.
Oh, nice.
We're going to do a beach or a resort holiday. No running.
Well, that's what this holiday was meant to be, a non-running holiday.
Running line by the pool type holiday that involves a 100-kilometre race.
Where's this one?
Bali, because we were like, we've got to go to Bali because at least it's cheap. We can just lay there. We know the weather will be hot. And then I managed to find a race right at the time we're wanting to go.
Yeah.
I haven't entered it yet.
No.
It's only in Australian dollars, $180 to enter.
Oh, it's a bargain. Why not?
I'd be foolish to pass that up, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So it's not just the race entry. It's the gels that come with it. It's all the little things that, it's only this much to enter.
I know.
Cost beforehand.
And it's literally at the other end of Bali from where all the resorts are. So
it's an hour and 40-minute drive.
Don't even know how to get across. How do you get across Bali?
We'll get a motorbike and we'll strap the suitcases to us.
No, you can just go there by yourself, do the run, It will just be Ron would just
Yeah.
be sitting by the
I'll be on the
pool,
pool.
and when
Yeah.
you're done, come back.
Yeah. I reckon that might be what's going to happen. Anyway, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. It depends because I'm waiting to see if I've got into Tour de Giant. So I put my name in the lottery again for the third time. So I'll be finding out from next week. So maybe in next week's podcast I'll have good news. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yes. So
Well and truly take care of that 200 miler.
yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's some big ones out there.
Yeah, there are some big ones, and but there's yeah. So are you thinking of anything in particular? Do you think you'd do Cozumela again, or are you wanting to do a different one?
Haven't really thought too far ahead. I want to, obviously the goal would be to do UTMB one
Yeah.
day. And I think,
Well, just saying that Bali race, it's got UTMB points, just in case you're wondering.
yeah, well, I think I've got 13 stones
Yeah,
already.
stones. That's right. I
sitting
forgot they're
there,
called
but
stones now.
I haven't activated them the last 2 years because just wasn't in a
Yeah.
position to go over. So
So how long
I'm
can you
thinking
keep those stones for?
as long as you do a UTMB or UT race every 2 years,
Oh,
they
okay, you
stay
keep them.
you keep them.
Okay,
So,
okay.
in theory, I'd love to do it like 2028 or 2029.
Yeah.
I think by that time it comes around, I can afford to take a family of 6 and spend 3 or 4 weeks over in.
Holy moly, that's going to be expensive.
Yes, but again, I think I'll fly over first, do the race, and
Okay.
the kids will come over after.
Yes,
Because
yes.
again, they don't want to travel for.
And
although
with
Shanghai's beautiful,
UTMB, they've got such good aid stations. Like you don't have to have crew.
yeah, so I'll definitely do another one, but maybe even like Tattawera.
Yeah.
Like it's not a hugely hilly race. It's a miler though that you're getting that time on the legs.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But nothing. To be honest, I've been banned from racing this year anyway, so I can't do it. So if I do anything, it'll be next year. But I haven't even thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
We're just gonna.
So you can't do like some 50K races?
If somebody entered me, maybe. Yeah, no, like maybe like a friend of mine's, I think, going to do the Wilson's Prom 50.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That looks like a bit of fun. I've done a 60K down there. That's a good little race to do.
We're thinking of going down there for that because it's Paul Ashton's last time as sort of semi-race director there. So it's going to be a bit of a what's the word?
Celebration.
Yeah, for him. So I think it'll be quite a good one to get to.
Yeah, so that's possibly on the calendar, but also I'm like, I just turned 40. Let's do like a 40 minute 10K. Let's like get a bit of speed in the legs or something like that. So
yeah, you could. And do you know what I always say? Like, the faster you get at those shorter distances, it's only going to help your longer distances anyway. So
100%. So all the running I'm doing at the moment is a lot of speed stuff anyway. So I'll probably do the Brighton Beach 10K, which is I think in August or something. Nothing. Just enjoying running for the fun of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of banter with your mates and pushing each other, laughing and picking on each other all week about how they didn't perform in the race or didn't show up on a Tuesday run set. So just enjoying running for what it is at the moment.
Yep. No, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a good spot to finish it on, because that's what we're here for, is enjoying running for the sake of running.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Spot on.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And we were talking, we were thinking maybe we should do, every 4 weeks where you come on and we can do sort of a coaching roundtable discussion, or we spoke about we were going to do at some point, but we never did it. After listening to Trail Runner Nation, how they sometimes do like a dictionary game where they choose a book and then we've got to all say how that word relates to running. We can do those sorts of things like that. That sounded like a bit of fun, and it'd be a bit more interesting with 3 people rather than just Ron and I. So, that sort of thing, I think, always about running, but, maybe doing something a little bit interesting and different. And so, yes, Daniel will be coming on every month. And, but yes, if you want coaching from Daniel, please shoot me an email, Isabel at peakendurancecoaching.com.au, or message me on socials, or comment coach already on any of my posts on Instagram or Facebook.
Perfect. Love it.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Have a lovely weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.